Well, we have been Royal Caribbean loyalists for a very, very long time.
And really since the very beginning.
Yeah, everything from the Mariner, which I think has about 3,500 passengers, to the Oasis class ships, which are north of 5,500 passengers.
And even Quantum, so we've done Quantum as well.
Yep. Now, we haven't done the big boys, the Icon and the Star, and we certainly look forward to that. But does the Freedom of the Seas, which we're on right now with a capacity of about 4,600 passengers, live up to everything that we expect from Royal Caribbean?
So yeah, we are just wrapping up the second of 4 consecutive cruises on 4 separate cruise lines. Just came off of Margaritaville, the Jimmy Buffett cruise line. We're now on Royal Caribbean and Freedom of the Seas.
So let's get to the Cruiser's Compass, our 7-point review of cruise ships to help you decide which cruise ship is right for you. And our first point is the food, of course. This is actually the first time on any ship that we chose to do the unlimited specialty dining package.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean has some really nice choices when it comes to specialty dining. They've got Chops, they've got Giovanni's, they've got their sushi restaurants, hibachi restaurants as well, Johnny Rockets. So we thought with the unlimited package, let's try them all.
Yep.
And they gave us a really good deal on it, which included a heavy discount on wine, which we like wine with our dinner.
Right.
So we did buffets for breakfast and lunch, and then for all of our dinners, we did the specialty dining
Right,
restaurants.
so let's talk about each one because I think that's important. The first one we did was Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, and it was fantastic. We both had the pasta, and both were great. Now, they also serve wood-fired pizza. It was not real wood, but pizzas, and we've heard they are delicious as well. But we both had pasta, and I had their burrata cheese caprese salad to die for.
Yeah, that was the star of the show.
Good. And also the service was fantastic. So then after that, we did Chops.
We did Chops. So we have 5 nights. So we had, of the 5 nights, they have 4 main specialty restaurants. So the second night we did Chops, their steakhouse, which was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So it was very good. We both had the filet on that. And then just the sides and the presentation and everything that you would expect to get in a specialty restaurant met our expectations.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And then third, we went for sushi.
We figured after
Izumi,
big steak, we would do a light sushi the next night.
Which wasn't so light, actually, in the end. But there is Izumi Sushi Bar. And kind of interesting in that what they've done, at least on this ship, and I don't know if they do it on all ships, they have combined Izumi to have their teppanyaki restaurant really in the same space as their sushi bar. And, we kind of were expecting like a nice, quiet evening with some sushi, and really all we could hear were the teppanyaki tables. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But having said that, the food was delicious.
The sushi was fantastic.
Yep.
It was fantastic. The desserts I had, I don't know what they were called, but they were fantastic.
Ice cream bowls.
Mochi balls?
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely fantastic. Our waitress was absolutely fantastic as well.
Top of the line service for sure.
Yep.
It was just pretty
noisy.
Yeah.
But as far as the sushi goes, outstanding.
Yep. And then after that, we did do the hibachi teppanyaki table, also they call Izumi there. And it was, if you guys have done the teppanyaki tables, you get more food than 4 people can eat at one sitting. And it's the show and, flipping around of all this stuff. And it was classic. It was exactly what we expected. We had a very, very good table, which was nice. And it was delicious. It was fantastic. But, you put enough butter and garlic in anything and it's always going to taste good.
So as I mentioned, we had 5 nights and we had 4 main specialty dining. So we had to pick which one on the 5th night we're going to go back to. And that's going to be Giovanni's
Italian Kitchen. Yeah. We loved it. So yes, we are going to end with that one.
Okay, and so the next category is the ship itself.
Right. So I think that this, again, Freedom of the Seas, it's sort of a mid to big size ship with 4,600 passengers. And I really categorize it as a fun ship. I mean, they've done a lot of things. They did a total refurb at the beginning of 2025.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job. They've like redone the pool and they've added the lime and coconut bar in the main pool area. And the colors are bright and fresh and fun. And we really like that aspect.
And the whole promenade walk-through on decks 3, 4, and 5, beautiful.
Yeah.
And great entertaining area. It's got probably the best sports bar that we've seen on a ship.
Oh my gosh, the sports bar, it's like a centerpiece. I mean, they have everything there. And again, back to the whole fun thing. They've got foosball, they've got pool, they've got, do they have ping pong in there? No. They've got skee ball in there. They have all kinds of fun things, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous bar. Huge, huge bar. Lots of TV. We happened to be here for opening night of NFL last night, so you can imagine that was packed. But they've done a great job with that. And of course, in addition to that beautiful sports bar, you've got the schooner bar. You can't talk about Royal Caribbean without talking about the schooner bar.
Yep.
And it is definitely a central gathering hub. They do tons of trivia there, and it is always very well attended. Every seat is taken, and everybody has a lot of fun.
And great drinks.
And very, very good drinks. And another classic Royal Caribbean staple that we want to make sure we talk about is the solarium pool. It is the adults-only pool, and it's big. They've got tons of huge hot tub space, too. Very, very big hot tubs that we spend a lot of time in. But do make sure you get there early on sea days, because they have 2 sections that have padded chairs, and you want to make sure you get one of those. And then some of the other fun things that we've done, the outside stuff, the big water slides, yes.
FlowRider.
This old grandma got on both of those.
She did the FlowRider.
I did.
We have proof.
Yeah, I kind of lost my top at some point. but anyway, it was just a lot of fun. They even have this interesting archery you can do. And of course, they've got cornhole, all of that kind of stuff. So it really is a fun ship.
Yeah, the staterooms are very nice. The theater, which we're sitting in right now, it's beautifully designed with great stadium seating, so there's no bad seat in the house. So it's really got some great venues. It's got the ice skating rink, and they do the ice skating shows, which were really, really good.
Right.
So great venues on this ship to really give you anything that you like. A lot of diversity with the venues.
Right, exactly. And then speaking of the theater, our next point that we like to talk about to help you decide if it's a good ship for you is entertainment, if that's important to you. Paul's the king of entertainment, as I say every time. So why don't you go with the entertainment?
Yeah, the entertainment I thought was very solid. They have their traditional shows, and they had 2 different traditional shows on this 5-day cruise that we're on. And they also had a hypnotist, which was a comedian / hypnotist, and it was probably the hardest I've laughed in 5 years.
Yeah,
and
you said it was fantastic. I didn't see that show, but he said it was truly amazing.
It was scary, unbelievable, I guess is the best way to say it. With passengers that we knew.
Right.
And it was such a great show. So the entertainment, and they have live music all over the ship, all going on. We know that they have at least 3 different live entertainment venues going on in different venues at any one time during the evening. So it's really, the entertainment is really, really solid. I would say the performers that were here for the main shows were A+ performers.
Right.
A+. Great voices, great dancing talent. Really entertaining.
Yep. And then, of course, when we talk about entertainment, my favorite form of entertainment is the casino. And the casino here is beautiful. Again, I think they did a lot to it with the refurb. It's big. It's gorgeous. Tons of tables, good craps table, great poker table.
Crowded.
Very crowded poker table. We certainly did well at the poker table and the craps table this time. So that was a lot of fun. And they also have the option of they have a separate non-smoking casino on a separate floor. It is smaller, but they have their own bar. And it's very nice that they have that as an option.
Yep.
So if that's what you need in a casino, they do have that, which is great.
Yeah.
And overall, I mean, the dealers are great. They are absolutely very efficient. They know what they're doing. It feels a little business-like, but it is a business, so I get that. But again, everything is run really, really well. So I give that form of entertainment also a thumbs up. Okay, so our next category that we really do think is important is the loyalty program. And we've talked about this before in other videos.
We've said this many, many times before. We think Royal Caribbean Corporation, especially Royal Caribbean, the line itself, has hands down, and it's not even close, the
Right.
best loyalty program. And we really took advantage of it on this trip. For example, we get 4 free drinks
Right.
through the evening. So
yeah, so we're diamond level. So and again, like Paul said, we started our cruising on Royal Caribbean, and we very intentionally said they've got the best loyalty program. So we took all of our first cruises on Royal Caribbean, and we are now diamond level. And what that gets us is the primary perk, I think, is the 4 free drinks per day. They are coupons that are on your card. You can use them at any bar throughout any time of the day. So that's great.
And it includes a Diamond Lounge,
Right.
Crown Diamond Lounge for us that we can use in the morning for especially coffee and pastries and things like that.
Right,
we
and
can
so
go
when
there
you add the specialty coffees there to the whole drinks, the 4 drinks we get, we don't even need to buy the drink package, which that saves a ton of money. If you guys buy the drink package, you know how expensive they can be. So loyalty program is great. It does come with other perks, discounts on future cruises and bathrobes in our room. Sometimes we get early boarding, sometimes we don't. It just kind of depends on the actual cruise terminal. But you know, we again stand by saying it is the best. I will say we did have one viewer point out he's very, very happy with Norwegian's loyalty program. So yes, there are lots of other loyalty programs, but we particularly do believe Royal Caribbean is the best. One other point to make on that is the status does transfer over to Celebrity. It's slightly different perks and benefits, and we will be on the Celebrity Beyond next. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see the review of that ship as well. So the next category,
Gym and spa.
the gym and the spa. Why don't you talk about the gym? I'll talk about the spa.
Oh, gym's huge. It's beautiful. Again, I think they spent some time remodeling that, refreshing the equipment. So it has everything you need. It even has 4 stair steppers, which I've never seen that many stair steppers on a gym. But
You mean the
it's
revolving staircase
the revolving
things.
stair
Yeah,
stepper.
yeah.
But it has everything you need. It's big. It's active. It never got overcrowded.
Right.
And we've had a couple days where the weather's been a little bit iffy, and
Yeah.
so the gym is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure. 11. I'd say 11 out of 10. I mean, it is that good. It is absolutely massive. Huge room to do yoga and weights and free weights.
So maybe I want to bring that back down to a 10.
All
I'll give
right.
you a reason to.
Okay, he's bringing it back
is,
to a 10.
Locker rooms. There really aren't locker rooms. They've reduced that space to a couple changing rooms, so you don't have your traditional locker room with
Right.
locker space and that type of stuff.
And that's true. And they are very small. And not only that, they're right off the solarium pool. And so people go in there from the pool. So it's always crowded. And really, it's not even people from the gym. So yes, I will agree. Okay, fine. We're back down to a 10.
Out of 10.
The gym is gorgeous. I will say that. But like you said, they've reduced the space of the locker rooms. Guess what? There's no thermal spa on this ship. I was so disappointed. I thought for sure there was. I guess I didn't do my homework. That's one of my favorite things. I'm shocked on a ship this size and with a recent refurb that they don't have it. But you know, they do their math. So they did increase the gym size, but mostly they added additional staterooms and got rid of the thermal spa. Now they do still have the spa where you can get massages and pedicures and facial things and do that little foot ink thing. I don't know, that footprint thing. I still
Whatever
don't know
that
what
is.
that is. If anybody of you knows what that is, please tell me. So all of that's great. And I'm sure they do a wonderful, wonderful job. But no spa, no saunas, no steam rooms, none of that. Oh, I was so sad.
But you can get the health drinks. So they do have that in the solarium. So if you consider that part of the gym and spa services to get the health drinks that many of the Royal Caribbean ships, most of the Royal Caribbean ships
Right.
have, that's still available on this ship.
And it's important to point out because it is true. You can get the fresh pressed juices as well as the protein smoothies and all that kind of stuff, but you get them at the solarium bar. So important. And then one more thing on the gym/exercise category. As disappointed as I was that they didn't have a thermal spa, I was thrilled that they have a very nice running track. So I spent a lot of time up on the running track. So they get bonus points for that one. Yep. So let's get on to the next category, which is the staff. I think that is also equally important in, how good of a cruise you have. Again, we've been on Royal Caribbean so many times. I will say the staff, they're very solid.
Very efficient, too.
They're efficient. They
Very
get
efficient.
the job done. I have no complaints. But it has gotten away from sort of the old days where they were super friendly and they always knew your name and went kind of the extra mile. I think that era on Royal Caribbean ships has sailed away.
Yeah.
But you know, again, they do a
again,
good job. They do.
They do. Our stateroom is done once a day, which is their standard now to do, and it's done very well. So the staff is just very efficient.
Yes.
Is there a lot of personal touches and a personal touch
Not
to
so
it?
much.
Maybe not so much compared to some other cruise lines that we've been on, but they make sure that your experience, there's nothing in the way of a good experience.
Right, exactly. And one of the reasons we have so much experience with all of these things is that Paul and I do travel full-time in retirement, and we do a third of it in our Airstream RV and a third of it on cruise ships, and the rest of the time we go traveling around the world. So if retirement travel is something that interests you, two things. One, I do invite you to subscribe so you get notified when our next video comes out, but also we have a free PDF handout. I will put a link to that below, and that is our top 10 retirement Let me try that again. That is our top 10 retirement travel tips. That is always so hard to say. Click the link below and you will get that straight in your inbox and you'll know what I'm talking about.
And just to wrap up on the staff, it's not a negative. I don't want this to come off as a negative in any way.
I agree.
In fact, we've had some staff members, like I mentioned earlier, the waiter at our sushi restaurant. She was unbelievable.
Right.
And at Giovanni's, that guy was really good. So there are staff that stands out and make a difference in your experience.
Right.
But in general, they're just very efficient. They get the job done. And again, they want nothing to stand in the way of you having a great time.
Totally agree. And then let's move on to our last of these seven points, and that is the passengers on the ship, because it is important. You're going to be with the same people for 5 days, 7 days,
and
10 days, whatever it is.
You want a ship that's going to be a good fit for you, and that includes what the passengers. So, and from a passenger standpoint, this one surprised us a little bit.
Yeah, it did. They actually, I would say the average passenger is much younger than we expected. Probably I would say upper 30s maybe is the average age of most of the passengers here. Typically, we're used to sailing with some older passengers, so we were surprised to see that. And then the other surprise, the families. The families.
We are cruising during school year, and there was a lot of families on the ship.
A lot of little kids on the ship.
So if you are looking for a ship that is very friendly for family travel, this is a good ship for that. It's, if you're looking for the mega ship and everything that has, I wouldn't classify this as a mega ship, but it certainly is very family friendly.
Yeah, and they do have a wonderful big kid splash pool and slides and stuff like that. So if that's what you're interested, great. But if you don't want a lot of kids on your cruise ship, then maybe this would not be a good choice for you with that. So I think that's it. We've nailed our 7 of the cruiser's compass. Hopefully, again, what our hope with these videos is to help you decide which cruise ship and cruise line is best for you.
Yep. Next one coming up is Celebrity Beyond. We're really looking forward to that in a couple days. So we'll have a review there, but I would not hesitate to come back on Freedom of the Seas. Not for a moment. Right.
Yep. It was great. We've had a great time. So thank you for joining us on The Freedom Strategy, where we are unlocking retirement by traveling the world.